वन्दे वृन्दावनचरं वल्लवीजनवल्लभं जयन्ती सम्भवं धाम वैजयन्ती विभूषणम्। नमस्ते।
नमस्ते नमस्ते। भवतीभिः यत् प्रेषितं तत्र विशेषवित् पारिषदेषु नाथ इति एकवारं
हा
विवृणोतु।
श्लोकम् ओके ओके। विशेषवित् पारिषदेषु विशेषवित् पारिषदेषु नाथ विदग्धगोष्ठी समराङ्गणेषु जिगीषतो मे कवितार्किकेन्द्रान् जिह्वाग्रसिंहासनम् अभ्युपेयाः। एतत्तु हयग्रीव स्तोत्रे वर्तते. So it is he prays to Hayagriva to ask him to stand on his jihvagram. Always take an asanam and sit on his jihvagram, because he is ready to go to a vidagdha goshti. Vidagdha goshti is like a sabha, right? Vidagdhanam sabhasu goshti tu tatra samaranganam eva vartate. It is like a battlefield there. When you go for a vedartha vakyartha sadas, it is equal to battlefield. So vidagdha goshti samaranganeshu, in that battlefild, vishesha with parishadeshu cha, and in the amongst people who all understand vishesha with, those who know, those who are experts, those who understand peculiarities about the subject matter very well, tesham parishatsu api, or among parishadaha ityukte, the people who belong to that, those who are all in that sabha and among the experts, intellectuals. हे नाथ जिगीषतः मे कवितार्किकेन्द्रान् जिगीषतः मे इति अन्वयः। मे जिह्वाग्र सिंहासनम् अभ्युपेयाः, you must come and sit on the tongue of my the tip of my tongue, I who want to win over all these kavitarkika indrane. So kavitarkika indrane jetum ichchataha mama jihvagre tvam agatya upavisha iti. This is first எனக்கு வந்து ஒருத்தர் இந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை வந்து சொன்னார். He said ஹயக்ரீவ ஸ்தோத்திரத்துல வந்து even if you don't say the entire thing, say this shlokam, it's very powerful அப்படிம்பார்.
Written by same Deshikan.
தேசிகர் தான். தேசிகர் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 27-30 ஸ்தோத்ராஸ் எழுதியிருக்காரு.
அவரோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்தோத்திரம் தானே ஹயக்ரீவ ஸ்தோத்திரம்.
ஏன்னா இதுல வந்து அவர் போய் அந்த திருக்கழுக்குன்றம் ஒரு சம்வேர் வேர் அவர் உட்கார்ந்தப்போ கருடன் வந்து அவருக்கு கருட மந்திரம் உபதேசம் பண்ணி அதுக்கப்புறம் ஹயக்ரீவரோட தர்சனம் கிடைச்சு then he wrote this. This was the first thing that he wrote. Okay. தடாகமிவ தாபார்த்தாக தமிந்திரமிவ சாரி,
அவரோட ஒரு ஸ்லோகாக்கும் ஒரு பெரிய பெரிய கதை இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு இல்ல? அதுவே ஒரு பெரிய இதுவா இருக்கும் அது படிக்கிறதுக்கு.
Every shlokam has a background. எந்த க்ஷேத்திரத்தை பொறுத்து இருக்கு, அவர் எப்படி, why did that stotram come about, அதுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு they've done a great documentation for that. It's very interesting to read that. Very similar to Apay Dikshitar also. You have documentation came about much better during those times, and I think they had students who could document those things and give it to us. So yayati tatakamiva tapartaha tamindramива nirjaraha bhavaiva rasambhavyaha parthivaha paryupasata. All the kings there, they served yayati, like how people who are very tortured by heat, they go to the lake, or how devas approach Indra, or how bhavas come together to give rise to rasa, or they help rasa. In this manner, parthivaha api tatra paryupasata. So we finished with this, and the next one we start with Yadu's Charitam. Yadur nama tato jagne yat santati samudbhavaihi samana ganana alekhye nissamanaihi nishadyate. Yaduhu nama tataha jagne tataha tasmat yayatehe tadanantaram ityapi vaktum shakyate parantu it is easier if you take it as yayatehe iti. So from yayate Yadu was born. Yaduhu nama jagne. Who was Yadu? Yat santati samudbhavaihi nissamanaihi samana ganana alekhe nishadyate. यत् सन्तति सम्भूतैः यस्य वंशे उद्भूताः राजानः आसन्, so those who were born in his lineage, यत् सन्तति समुद्भवैः जनैः or राजभिः, they were nissamanaihi. There were no kings who were equal to him in that vamsha. So in his vamsha, but the kings who were all born, yat santati samudbhavaihi, those who were born in his lineage, in his vamsha, nissamanaihi, they had nobody, no other king equal to them. So samana ganana tu alekhe eva nishadyate. Parthivaihi samana ganana. If you have to make an equal counting or equal comparison with these kings, okay, so yat santati samudbhavaihi nissamanaihi saha ganana yadi kriyate tarhi alekhe eva nishadyate. Then you will have to only go to the pictures of these kings, because as soon as, you know, if you have visited these palaces, you will find that or any other institution also, you will find this practice where there are pictures of the earlier presidents or earlier kings and all that. So you will find them in these pictures. Now, if you want to go and compare the king who is ruling at that point of time with another king, you can't compare him. You only have to compare him with the same portrait or with the portrait of another king who was in the same lineage. There is no other way to. They were all anupamaha. There was no comparison for these kings who were born in Yaduvamsha. And Yadu was also such a great king there. Is that clear? So Yaduhu nama tataha jagne yat santati samudbhavaihi nissamanaihi. Nissamanaihi is those who did not have any equal. By those kings, with those kings, samana ganana, the equality, counting of similarity or looking at similarity, looking for similarity, ended up or was found, nishadyate, was found only in alekhe, in paintings. When we go over the pratipadartha, it might be a little bit clearer. Haridas, do you want to go today? You're fine?
Yes, I can. Tataha tasmat yayatehe iti panchami, so born from him. Yaduhu nama, yaduhu iti prasiddhaha. Okay. Jajne, jataha, jandatu. Even though nyadatu has the same form in lit, but here it was jan is the correct one.
Yeah.
Jajne, jataha. Yat santati samudbhavaihi, yasya vamshe samudbhutaihi nissamanaihi, apratimaihi parthivaihi, radbhihi.
I think this Parthiva is not there in the Sloka.
Parthiva is not there.
So I'll put this in bracket.
So in whose clan? With
Or can we just remove the comma so that it can be
is equal to remove pannano.
No, the apratimaihi parthivaihi can be one thing. If you
Radbihi we don't need.
We need that
எதுக்கு ராட்பிஹி இருக்கணும்னா அந்த ஃபார்மே யாருக்கும் தெரியாது, அதுக்காக போட்டிருக்கேன்.
ராட்பிஹி, ராட் ராஜோ ராஜஹ.
Yes.
Okay, so with whom samana ganana alekhye eva prapyate. So the count or counting samana ganana, counting another as similar to these people. Who are these people? Those who are born samudbhutaihi nissamanaihi, those who are born in Yaduvamsha, in Yadu's clan, who are apratimaihi, who don't have another pratima.
Equal.
Equal.
Reflection.
Okay. Reflection. Who don't have who don't have an equal anywhere else. With them, if you want to do an equal comparison, that can only be done in Alekhya, in Chitra, in
Swachitre eva iti.
Chitre eva.
Swesham chitre eva. Only in the with that comparison can be done only with their own portraits.
சமானகளான அலைக்கே ஏவ பிராப்தி. ஏவ இருக்கா அங்க ஸ்லோகத்துல?
ஆலேக்கே ஏவ இல்ல.
ஆனா அது அண்டர்ஸ்டுட்.
இதெல்லாம் வந்து his supplement. Abhay Dikshita's.
So what we are saying is they are nisamanas, they don't have any equal. Therefore, if you want to do samanagana with anyone, you can only compare them with themselves.
Yeah.
So
they are so photogenic, their photos don't have it.
photo அவ்வளவு லிட்டரலா எடுக்க வேண்டாம்.
போட்டோவே கிடையாது, அப்பெல்லாம் பெயிண்டிங் தான். அதனால தான் ஆலேக்கியம்.
And that's what we don't mean the looks, right? We mean the character, we mean the quality, we mean charisma, the power, the dharma, and all that. That's what we mean by saying samanagarana. And okay, so swachitre eva tadrisham kartum. Nama, you can only compare Rama with Rama, something like that, or does he mean that
it's like an ananvaya alankara? That's all.
Ananvaya madri. Unless he means, okay, in Yadukla, the 10 kings, you can only compare each with the other on the 10 kula. Maybe he means that.
அதுவும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். That's what I thought. Alekhe ityukte, you have that set of paintings there. If you want to compare one king, you can only compare that king with someone in the portrait. You cannot compare them with anybody who is living there. அப்படின்னு நினைச்சேன் முதல்ல.
But this Vachitra Ananvaya makes it even more beautiful as a concept, right? You can only compare them with themselves. They're unique in and they're incomparable. Apratima. Everyone is apratima. So I think that makes more sense.
சொல்லுவால only compare oranges to oranges அப்படின்பல அந்த மாதிரியா?
அந்த மாதிரி sui generis ன்னு ஒரு இது இருக்கு. In its own class.
I don't know. What அது பேர் என்ன?
You can only compare oranges to oranges, right? You can't compare
you can't compare apples and oranges is a very famous statement. But what is that technical term you said?
நான் சொல்றது வந்து it's a little bit more different. Sui generis, which means it's in its own class. You cannot compare it with anyone else. That is unique. It's not even oranges. It's not even oranges with oranges. It's that fruit is unique. There's no other fruit like it in the universe.
Okay. That is
okay. இது மாதிரி, அதாவது ககனம் ககனாகாரம் சாகர சாகரோபமஹ தான் பெஸ்ட். சரி, பஹவஹ.
But this dhatu is very interesting. Nishadyate, sad dhatu, sadil gatau, but here with the upasarga ni, it becomes prapyate, right?
Or sitting ங்க அர்த்தத்துல நிஷீததிங்கற அர்த்தத்திலயும் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
நிஷீததி நினைச்சேனா, நிஷீததி என்ன to prohibit இல்லையா?
இல்ல. No. Nishedhayati. Nishidati is sitting. Yeah.
Nishidati. Okay, fine. So nishidyate is in passive here.
Nishadyate.
Nishadyate is in passive in nikhre. It's not
yes. So alekhe eva samana ganana nishadyate. Ganana nishadyate.
Ganana is possible only in the alekhya. So passive voice. Okay, astu. Okay, bhavah. Tasmad yayatehe yaduhu jatah. So from that yayati Yadu was born. Tasya namna eva saha vamshah prasiddham agat. Prasiddhim agat. By his name only, tasya namna eva, just by his name, that whole clan, savamshah prasiddhim agat, got fame. Agat in dhatu, galungi. So agat lung. So just by so the whole clan is known by his name. So then we know that what kind of a king he was. He's the most famous king in that line. Tad vamshotpannanam parthivanam sadrishaha kepi nasan. Of those kings who were born in his clan, no equals. There were no equals on earth.
Yeah.
So that's the bhava and alankara. Yatra yadubhihi samyam chitreshu eva न पार्थिवान्तरेषु प्राप्यम इति अत्र यदुभिः साम्यं चित्रेषु एव न पार्थिवान्तरेषु प्राप्यम इति अनेकेषु सम्भाव्यमानस्य एकत्र एव नियमनात् ओहो परिसंख्याः अलङ्कारः अप्रियः
परिसंख्यालङ्कारः स्नेहक्षयः दीपेषु न हृदयेषु இருக்கும். I think that's the example that Kolyanandakara gives. Snehakshayah, it can also be Slesha based, it need not be Slesha based also. The example he gives there is based on Slesha. When you take Sneha, it means both affection and oil. Sneha Kshayaha, the reduction of Sneha happens only in lamps, but not in the hearts. Adepola, you are confining one gunam in a set of things, and saying that it is absent in another set. So it is possible everywhere, but it is only present in one particular object.
In only in the chitra.
Deepa. Adempola ingiyum vandu yadubihi samyam. Generally, there are a lot of kings in the world, and you can compare them to the Yadavamsha Rajanaha. But then, Yadubissaha Samyam tu Chitreshu eva vartate nathu anya rajasu. So you can't compare with other kings. That comparison is only present in the Chitram. So Anekeshu Sambhavyamanasya, even though it is possible to be present in everything, Ekatra eva niyamanat, you are confining it to only one place. This is Parisankhya Alankara.
Is that why that in the Bhava last sentence, Tadvamshodpannanam Parthivanam, usually we only need to say one, not even single person in singular we have to say, right? But here it says Kopinas and Bahuvachane asti Sadrishaha. Why can't they compare with that single entity?
It's okay, you can use it in any way, but there is no rule that you have to say Kopina asit ityeva vaktavyam iti nasti tatra niyamaha. You can use plural also.
If one is not there, obviously many will not be there. So the minimum itself is not met.
A group, right? Talking about like 10 kings. Let's say there are 100 kings. These 100 kings have no equals. So if a group of them pays no, KP Nasan.
No. It doesn't matter. That is okay. Yadurnama tatojagye yatsantati samudbhavaihi samana ganana lekhye nissamanaihi nishadyate.
ஒத்தருக்கு கூட ஈக்குவலா இல்லைன்னு சொல்லும்போது அதோட இது
that effect is so totally different. Instead of comparing 100 people don't have 100 equals, instead 100 people don't even have a single king who is equal to them like that.
That's okay.
Call Vedanta Desika and ask and tell him.
Yes. அதாவது வால்மீகி டிஸ்கஷன் கூப்பிடுற மாதிரி இப்ப அடுத்தது வேதாந்த தேசிகரா கூப்பிடுறோம். ஏன் இல்ல அப்பய தீட்சிதர் he only wrote the வியாக்கியானம். No, let's call him.
We need a sabha.
Okay, next one is a nice shloka. Dehi iti vadatam prayaha prasidan pratyuvacha saha lalita dvanibhihi lakshmi leela kamalashat padaihi. Idilla. Okay, I was thinking of another shloka. Adu vandu prathame artinaha eva apurayan iti asti. I think that this 23rd da innu alaga irukum. Dehi iti vadatam prayaha prasidan pratyuvacha saha lalita dvanibhihi lakshmi leela kamala shatpadaihi. Dehi iti vadatam prasidan yaduhu saha yadu, he was very charitable. When someone asked him dehi, give me, iti yaha pritchati tasmai saha sarvam dadati. Instead of saying that he gives everything to them, the way he says this is for when he is trying to satisfy, or when he satisfies people who are asking him for things. Dehi iti vadatam jananam prasidan. As he is trying to please them, what he does is, when someone asks something, you have to answer, right? You have to say yes or some sort of a thing. Wait for a minute, let me get this. Ityadikantu tatra prativachanam saha na adat. He did not give any sort of a reply there. Instead, the reply was only in the form of bees, the sweet sounds that came from bees. Now, where are these bees? These bees are surrounding the kamalam, which is the Leela kamalam. That is, it is which Lakshmi is having. That is, the entire Lakshmi or fortune has gone to him. So he also has Lakshmi Kataksham there. And the poet imagines that, as Lakshmi goes there, there is a Leela Kamalam in her hand. And then there are a lot of bees which are roaming around that Kamalam. And it is making a humming sound. That humming sound is the prativachanam that Yadu gives for those who ask him Dehi. So Dehi iti vadatam prayaha prasidan, as he is making them happy, he pratyuvacha, he replied with lalita dvanibihi, with very sweet sounds of shatpada. Shatpada is those which have six-legged creatures. So usually shatpada is a bee. Of bees which are inside or which are in the Leela Kamalam of Sri Devi, Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is having, usually Lakshmi has a small kamalam in her hand, or she is seated on a lotus, and the lotus has so much of fragrance and it attracts the bees. So the bees are all humming around these. That is, as he gives whatever they ask, he doesn't just stop with one item. When you say give me food, he just doesn't give rice like this and goes. It's like he ensures that they have the sannidhyam of Lakshmi completely. Lakshmi katakshaha tu tatra sampurnataya bhavidavyam iti tasya asha. So he immediately, I always remember the story in, I don't know if there is the source in Mahabharatam or not, but it's a very popular story where Arjuna feels, that Karna is unnecessarily being called as Danaviraha iti. So he goes to Krishna and complains, why do people say that Karna is the Danavira? Why are they not saying, I'm also equally charitable, I also give charity, why don't people say? So Krishna calls both of them, and first he calls Arjuna because he knows he's going to fail. So he shows one Swarna Parvatam and another Rajata Parvatam. He says, you have to finish giving this before sunset. So you start early in the morning, Suryodaya Samaye Arabhate Sahapi, and he starts he just cuts and gives to people who come and ask him. By evening, it is still not even half done. So he says, I don't think I can finish it before sunset. Then Krishna calls Karna. He says, you have to finish this before the sun goes down completely. The first person comes, he says, take this Swarna Parvatam. The second person comes, he says, take this Rajata Parvatam. That's it. Done. See, that is the kudukkanonu nenikkerche appadi varanum. Adanga.
The most costly thing first.
And also this Vadatam is like a Shatru Pratyaya. So as he is saying,
it is already gone there.
Before he has finished saying itself, this is done.
Vadatam Prasidanna, he is also, as he is trying to please them, it is already gone there. Lakshmi Kataksham tu tatra, it is completely there.
And this is like that Saundari Lari Slokam. Bhavani Tvamiti.
Tvam dase mayivitara drishtim sakarano. It is totam vanchan kathedi bhavani tvam. First class.
Exactly like that.
Now the
example and the squirrel it was covered with golden dust.
Adu squirrel illa, adu nakula. Adu vera.
Oh.
Adu vera idea.
Indraprastha's yajna, when Yudhishthira is doing it.
Yeah.
But the meaning that you gave, where you're saying, okay, when he gives it, when he's satisfying them, he makes sure that Lakshmi Kataksham also falls on them. Now that is the Dhwani Artha that you are getting from this Lalita Dhwani Dhwani that you are getting, which is not even said here by the Bhava or by the Pratipadartha, but it's also beautiful.
That just what does that prove? Because Dvani is the Kavya's Atma, that means our teacher has Atma.
Okay.
சஹிருதயத்துவம் அவ்வளவுதான். இது நான் வந்து 2 தடவை எடுக்கிறேன் 3 தடவை எடுக்கிறேன்ல, so you know it automatically opens up a lot more things there. I guess
It's amazing. It's amazing. So Lalita Dhvanibihi Lakshmi Leela Kamala Shatpadaihi ityaduktam tatra kavina Shatpadam iti kimartam uktam kimapi atra kimapi kyopi arthah asti va iti maya chintitam. Nasti. I was counting the words Lalita Dhvani Lakshmi varadinu.
இல்ல, ஐ திங்க் ஷட்பதங்கிறது வந்து ஏதாவது 6 விதமான செல்வங்கள்னு இருக்கலாம், தெரியல.
இருக்கலாம் 6 விதமான செல்வங்கள், something like that. That makes sense.
6 ஐஸ்வர்யம் except for moksham, you know, something like that. தெரியல.
So in the word prayaha, usually prayaha nama probably அந்த மாதிரி கூட அர்த்தம் இருக்கு.
எஸ், பிராயஹ ஜெனரலி அப்படிங்கிற அர்த்தம். பட் இங்க வந்து பிரிஷம் மிதி. அப்படி பிரதிபதார்த்தம் படிச்சிருவோம்.
ஓகே. சஹ நம யதுஹு தேஹி இதி வததாம் நம யாச்சகானாம்.
தேஹி இதி வததாம் இல்லையா? தேஹி வராதுல்ல.
தேஹி தேஹி ஓட்லக்கரா. ஓகே, ஸ்ரீயம் தேஹி லைக் தட். So தேஹி give dadatu, right? Yeah. So vadatam nama shatra pratyaya vadat pratipadikam. So vadatam shashti bahuvachanam nama yachakanam. So teshang krite or tan prasidan prayah prasidan santoshayan brisham santoshayan. So the word prayah means brisham, a lot. So satisfying them a lot or pleasing them very much. Lalita dhvanibihi Lakshmi Leela Kamala Shatpadaihi Pratyuvacha. So they requested him. Now he has to give a reply, but he doesn't give a reply by words. Pratyuvacha. He replies with what? Lalita Dhvanibihi, with the sweet sounds coming from the Lakshmi Leela Kamala Shatpadaihi. Those Shatpadas, those bees that are on the Kamala, the lotus, which is the Leela Kamala, which is the lotus which Lakshmi always has in her hands for sport. So with the sounds from those bees, he replies to them. So now this has to be interpreted with dhvani, like teacher has done, in the sense that you could say that okay, it makes sure that the Lakshmi Kataksha reaches them so that they do not have to probably ask again, or they also get wealth and.
அது அடுத்ததுல அந்த 23rd that idea will be beautifully said in a very different way. அழகா இருக்கும். Okay.
भावः सः यदुः देहि इति वदतां याचकानां प्रतिवचनं
धन वितरण रूपमेव अदात्.
I was looking for dhvani, but okay. Thinking maybe it's a type. Okay. Dhana vitarana rupameva adat. So his prativachanam adat, but so he gave a prativachanam. What is the prativachanam? Dhana vitarana rupam. Actually the distribution of wealth. That is the actual prativachanam. He replies with actions rather than words. But then yachanat param dane yachanat param dane kshana kala vilambam api naiva karoti di bhava. So now we are not talking about the sound of the bees here. He skipped it.
He has totally skipped that, and he says after yachana, after asking, dane kshana kala vilambam api naiva akarot.
So we could take it like this. Let's say that they ask him for gold or coins, money or whatever. Now he sprinkles so many coins, like the sound is like the tinkling of the bees. And that is the dhana vitarana rupameva. Okay, so he replies to them with action. So what does that mean? It means that he does not wait to even reply with words. He just gives the money directly. That is the reply. He doesn't say having it. So that's also a beautiful meaning that we get out of the shloka. Vyakarana visheshaha. Lalitaha dhvanayah esham. Te lalita dhvanayah. Those who make beautiful sounds, they are the lalita dhvanayah. Taihi lalita dhvanibihi. By those people who make those beautiful sounds, who are they? Lakshmyaha leela kamalam. Nama leela yai kamalam. Lakshmi leela kamalasya shatpadaha taihi. Those people who make those beautiful sounds are the shatpadas who are residing in the kamala, leela kamala of Lakshmi. Shatpadaha yesham te shatpadaha. Those who have 6 legs are shatpadaha.
Yeah.
Alankaraha. Atra Lakshmi Lila Kamala Shatpada Dvaninam असंबंधे अपि ओहो असंबंधे
Sambandhakatam.
संबंधकथनात् अतिशयोक्त्यलङ्कारः नाम किमर्थम् असंबन्धः नाम इदानीं दानकार्ये तेषां सम्बन्धः नास्ति डायरेक्ट्लि
न तथा न प्रतिवचनं तु तत्र कथं तस्मिन् स्थले षट्पदानां स्थितिः तु नास्ति
नास्ति प्रतिवचनमेव अपेक्षते इदानीं किमर्थं भ्रमराणां प्रवेशः अत्र ओके सो असम्बन्धे अपि सम्बन्धकथनम् अत्र अस्ति अतिशयोक्त्यलङ्कारः इति
Yeah, so there is no possibility of bees being there, and so asambandhe, there is no connection with the bees here, but then the bees, sound of the bees is being explained here, and there is a connection also brought in the sense of reply. So there is atishayokti alankara.
So one would imagine that actually speaking, in Yugandhana, there are no bees around. But okay, now the poet creates a connection using his literary skills, and that's what we mean by Atishayokti. Okay, Sambandhe api Sambandha Kathanam. Okay, that makes sense.
Now this Atishayokti is now being used to enhance the verb here. Prativachanam miti. There is first an Atishayokti. Hyperbole is already being described here using the sound of bees. Okay. Now this, why does the sound of bees come about here? Atishayokti siddhe shatpadadvano prativachanatvam aropya. Prakrita upayogat parinama alankaraha. So usually there is a rupakam here. You are saying that the shatpadadvani is your prativachanam and it is words. Then why is it? It is being used as by the king to reply. Iti prakrita upayogaha vartate tatra. Otherwise, there is no use.
That's beautiful. That's really
so
beautiful.
it said that when the bees beat their wings faster, the sound is higher, the pitch is higher. So if the dhvani is higher, that means you're getting it fast. That's what it means. Like
there are many bees there, so much of wealth that's the idea also. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The parinama happens when you do the rupakam, where you say that the sound of the bees is actually the prativachanam. So there the rupakam is formed. But why is it not called a rupakam instead? It's called a parinama because...
Why do we even do this in the first case? Because it is kriya upayogitvam tatra vartate.
Oh, kriya upayogitvam yatra tatra parinama alankara.
Without even attaching it to a kriya, if that rupakam just stays as a rupakam, then it is different. Here you are actually giving it a dhvani, and then you are saying pratyuvacha iti kriya upayogitvam. It goes and helps us with the verb.
That's really so beautiful. But I think Apaya Dikshita uses the same concept in his Amari Kabari, right? He kind of uses the same concept. Parinama.
Kabari bhara mukhari kritam. Duri karotu duritam. Gauri charana pankacham.
Right?
Mukhari kritam. Duri karotu. அந்த இடத்துல பரிணாமம் வருமான்னு எனக்கு சந்தேகமா இருக்கு. முகரி கிருத்தம்ங்கிறதுனால முகரி கரோதி வர்றச்சே முகரி கரோதிங்கிறச்சே கிரியா உபயோகித்வம் வருது.
Wherever there is this asambandhepi sambandha kathanat atishayokti, I think it kind of always is going to be because we are doing that forceful aropa of the prakriti upayoga. It will always have that parinama will also tail it, I think.
அவசியம் இல்ல. Maybe there are examples in Yadavabhyudayam for you to do that, but in general you don't need it.
Because asambandhe sambandha kathanam atishayokti means what? That means that we are introducing something, and why we are introducing that has to be used in the prakrita upayogam. So
no, prakrita upayogam is always kriya upayogitvam. Kriyayoda connect aganum. Adu connect agallena.
That doesn't mean contextual upayogam.
Illa. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, so So we got two couple of, we have Atishayokti, and then on top, and then we have Parinama, but are they mixed? Or is it Sankara or Samsrishti?
Sankara irukku, because Atishayokti becomes your Anga for Parinama.
So it's Sankara. Okay. Okay. So Atishayokti Siddhe Shatpada Dhvanau Prativachanatvam Aropya Prakrita Upayogat Parinama Alankarah Tadrikeva Teshu Tasya Prativachanam Na Anyadrisham Iti. Oh, Parisankhya Alankar.
Parisankhya, we read the earlier.
Okay, so it's confined. His reply is only confined to the reply of the bees. The
Yes.
sound of the bees. So you're confined it. Confined the reply to that particular.
There were no other words that came out of him. So the reply is confined to only the sound of the bees. Nobody else. The edibadi ellam kuda onnum badale sollala. Kudutha solliyo po appadinu 4 பேர் நின்னுட்டு சொல்லுவாளோ இல்லையோ சுத்தி நின்னுண்டு அதெல்லாம் கூட இல்ல அங்க.
I mean, the ability to identify these alankaras, which is the is amazing.
He used this as a springboard for his Kolayananda.
But it's amazing. எவ்வளவு யோசிச்சாலும் மனசுல தோணாது. இவ்வளவு ஒரு அலங்காரம் இருந்தா போதும் அப்படின்னு we'll go to the next. But இது அதுக்கு மேல இது அது கூட அலங்கார அசம்பந்தே அப்படி சம்பந்தः தாத்ருஷ விவரணம் and the prabheda darshanam, it's also amazing. It is just insight.
I think that all the Alankara people who write the text, they are the one who think a lot, because Sloka writing is easier. I think after they write, then comparing and then coming up with all kind of work.
Vyakyanam எழுதுறது is the most difficult. It's very easy to write Slokas. To write the explanation for it, ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்.
Explain the beauty of it, right? I mean, the author can unconsciously create the beauty. Yeah. But for the one who's doing Vyakyanam, he has to explain how the beauty comes about, and that's like science. That's like Shastra. That's Alankara Shastra.
देहीति वदतां प्रायः प्रसीदन् प्रत्युवाचसः ललितध्वनिभिः लक्ष्मी लीला कमलषट्पदैः.
Usually Alankaras come in groups, right? It's very rare, actually speaking, that Alankaras come one by one. The way the Appai Dikshita explains it, from what I've seen in Kuvalananda, almost every example of us has multiple Alankaras. They come in groups.
Because they are not thinking of writing Lakshya Lakshana.
Yeah.
If you are writing Lakshya Sloka for the Lakshanam, then you will only stick with one Alankara and have it as unambiguous as you can for the student.
Yeah.
Here it is an expression of your creativity. So
this is
like
you
can't confine it.
Yeah, so this is like the actual kavya in practice. And kavya in practice is unrestrained.
Yeah. Okay. Sacha vritta vihinasya na vidyam bahvamanyatha nahi shuddheti grhyeta chaturthi chandra chandrika. இது எப்பவும் ஒரு பிரச்சனை. சரி வருவோம். Sacha vritta vihinasya vidyam na bahu amanyata. He did not think highly of a person who had a lot of learning but did not have character. Vritta vihinasya, for a person who does not have any vrittam, vyavaharam, acharam. If he did not have a good character, then Yadu did not consider that person's vidya as something that has to be respected. This is one sentence. The next sentence is, it is like a comparison here. So he says, nahi shuddheti grhyeta chaturthi chandra chandrika. Chaturthi chandrika, the moon on a chaturthi, that is every chandrika need not be, every chandra, the fourth day of chandra is not taken as shuddham. It is something that you not all can be like that. It is only the bhadrapada chaturthi which is taken as shuddham. Not all chaturthi can be taken as shuddham. Or இது எனக்கு எப்பவுமே பிள்ளையார் சதுர்த்தி இது எப்பவும் எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு கன்ஃபியூஷன் தான். எது கரெக்டா சொல்றாரு எது தப்பா சொல்றாருன்னு எனக்கு புரியாது. பட் வில் கோ ஓவர் த பிரதிபதார்த்தம். சொல்றேடா சங்கரி, நீங்க படிக்கிறீங்களா?
प्रतिपदार्थः सः यदुः वृत्तविहीनस्य आचारविहीनस्य विद्यां वेदाति रूपां न बहुमन्यत न बहुमेने हि
Amanyata is in lang lakara, mene is in
लिट्
lit.
लकारः हि तदुक्तमेव
Yuktameva.
ओ
Tat
तदुक्तमेव
yuktameva. It is appropriate. It is correct only. He ityukte, it is appropriate because so when you take this he which is there in the second line, it is like a samarthanam for the first line. அதனால தான் இங்க அலங்காரம் பார்த்தேன்னா he would have given காவிலிங்க அலங்காரம் பாருங்க இல்லையா அதான்
now I can understand now the difference
yeah
चतुर्थी चंद्रचंद्रिका भाद्रपद शुद्ध चतुर्थी तिथि गत चंद्रस्य प्रकाशः is it शुद्ध चतुर्थी or शुक्ल चतुर्थी
शुद्ध शुक्ल both are fine
okay
but நான் டெக்ஸ்ட் பாத்துறேன் அவரோட வியாக்கியானத்தை
भाद्रपद शुक्ल चतुर्थी only is पिल्यार चतुर्थी
yeah शुक्ले
चतुर्थी समय
हाँ
विनायक चतुर्थी समय न पश्यामः किल
करेक्ट
चन्द्रम् अत एव शुक्ल चतुर्थी एव
okay so शुद्ध चतुर्थी इति अस्ति in the व्याख्यान
because normally chaturthi can span the entire day need not be chaturthi like or half day will be chaturthi that it can go to a different day chaturthi like that so shuddha chaturthi means like a purna chaturthi within one day like that
okay
shuddheti vimaleti na svikriyeta
it is not accepted
भावः आचारविहीनस्य विद्यां सः यदुः नाद्रियते स्म तदपि युक्तमेव शुद्धा चन्द्रिकेति कृत्वा भाद्रपद शुद्ध चतुर्थी चन्द्रिका किं सर्वैः आद्रियेत न we can't watch it on that day otherwise we'll get the in the dosham
chandra dosham vandrumla
we'll get all the apamanam unnecessary blame we will get it if we see it on that day
okay
even if we don't do anything wrong we'll get something blamed for something
okay
विशेषः न विद्यया केवलया तपसा वापि पात्रता oh it's a shloka न विद्यया केवलया तपसा वापि पात्रता यस्य वृत्तमिमे क्षोभे तद्धिपात्रं प्रचक्षते इति स्मृत्य अनुबोधात् आचारवत एव विद्या इति समादरणं लभते आचारवान् पुरुषो वेद इत्यपि श्रूयते श्लोके
so न विद्यया केवलया tapasa vapi patrata is worthiness is not established by mere learning kevalaya vidyaya by just learning or kevalaya tapasa by mere tapas you cannot establish a person's worthiness patrata yasya vrittam ime cha ubhe tadhi patram prachakshate yasya vrittam ime ubhe cha vartete yasya vrittam vartate ime ubhe cha vartate so you take it as one who has both vidya tapas and along with that he should also have a good character vrittam acharanam tadhi only then patram prachakshate only that person is called a worthy person iti smriti anubodhat by understanding this smriti vakyam आचारवतः एव विद्या इति समादारणं लभते समादरणं so there is a respect for the vidya only the vidya or the learning of a person who has good character is considered as learning iti
idu irtha indha shlokatha
manusmriti
yeah okay
samsmriti because it is smriti anubodhat
so yeah எந்த ஸ்மிருதின்னு தெரியல இருக்கும் ஏதாவது மனுஸ்மிருதியா இருக்கலாம்
आचारवान् पुरुषो वेद इत्यपि श्रूयते that is also another saying we hear shloke chaturthi padam bhadrapada shuddha chaturthi bodhakam the way even though shloka says chaturthi it means bhadrapada shuddha chaturthi or shukla chaturthi taddine chandra darshanasya nishiddhatvat we don't see on
ஏன்
that.
நிஷித்தம்னு தெரியல இல்ல என்ன
We
எதுக்கு
get the
சொன்னேன்
dosham because Chandra laughed at Piliyar that day,
ஓ
and so he
அந்த
got
கதையை சொல்லணுமா சரி
huh,
சரி ஓகே
because
ஓகே
he was, and then he was all of his thing. Everybody went and requested to do a shapa vimochanam and convert the shapam so that he reduced it instead of doing it for the whole year. Everything only that day, Ganesha said only that day. If anybody sees Chandran on that day, they will get the dosham.
So in general chaturthi chandrastu tatra na drashtavyah ityeva there is a nishedha okay fine
Chaturthi means if you see it on all Chaturthi, every time you will get it. So that will be trouble for the world,
இல்ல
right?
ஆக்சுவலி அதுக்கு என்னன்னா சங்கடஹர சதுர்த்தி எடுத்துட்டோம்னா you see the moon and then eat after moonrise only you eat there is a vratam there that you observe
Correct.
இல்ல
Correct. But they, because everybody, Chandra was he became very dull, and the white and everything was gone, and Shobha gone, everybody, and even the world also was plunged into darkness. So everybody, Devas and all, requested Ganesha, and Ganesha did the Anugraham so that only that Piliyar Chaturthi day we shouldn't see.
Oh, சரி otherwise on other days you can see
Other Chaturthis, it's okay. You won't
it's
get
okay
the dosha. You
சரி
won't get
சரி
the blame.
okay
And
got it
Piliyar Chaturthi day, you can see the reflection.
பிள்ளையார் சதுர்த்தியே என்ன சொன்னேன்
How can you see the moon? I mean, it is Chaturthi, right?
you can
Chaturthi also you'll have the moon. Why can't you? You will see the moon, right? Even Tritiya also you can see. Tritiya also
but
has no
திருத்தியாவும்
one.
பார்க்கப்படாதும்பா இல்ல
Tritiya is difficult to see.
Crescent moon இல்லையா crescent moon பார்க்கலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன் லேஷ கலா okay
yeah
It's difficult to see, but you can see.
okay
and you can see
Alankar.
you can see the reflection on what on Bhadrapada right?
yeah
Yeah, today is
thought
full moon,
only
you can see.
full moon was supposed to be viewed. Other moons and all, they normally don't see, right? Whether it is a half moon or crescent moon. So they see all types of moons.
எல்லாம்
Because
பார்க்கலாம்
if you see Tritiya, it's a Vishesham. If you see it on Tritiya, it's a Vishesham.
it's very tough to see
Very
மூன்றாம்
tough to
பிறை
see, and if you see, you're lucky.
மூன்றாம் பிறையா
Moondram
I
Pirai
never
is very
understood the name of
lucky.
that movie.
அதோட சிக்னிபிகன்ஸே தெரியல
பைத்தியம் பிடிச்சது இல்லையோ
அதான் அதனால எல்லாரும் வந்து மூன்றாம் பிறை பார்த்தா பைத்தியம் பிடிக்கும்னு நினைச்சுப்பா that's not the case अलङ्कारः न विद्यया इत्यादि स्मृति निषिद्धत्वात् वृत्तहीन विद्यायाः आदरणं नास्ति इति विषयः okay na vidyaya ityadi smriti nishiddhatvat because smriti enjoins this nishedha it says that you cannot give a person who doesn't have na vidyaya who doesn't have proper character you cannot give him any charity that is nishedham in smriti so vrittihina vidyayaha adaranam nasti iti vishayah the prakrita vishayah here is your context here is someone who does not have a character but is very intelligent he should not be respected even if he is very intelligent he should not be respected that is your prakrita vishayam nishiddhe chaturthi chandrikayaha agrahana रूपेण दृष्टान्तेन इति समर्थितः इति काव्यलिङ्गालङ्कारः இவர் ஒரு மூணு இது வந்து காவியலிங்கத்தை விட நான் அர்த்தாந்தர நியாசம் இஸ் ஈஸியர் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்னு நான் போட்டிருந்தேன் ஆனா ஹி அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பிகாஸ் தட் ஹி இஸ் பிரசன்ட் அண்ட் இட் இஸ் அ சமர்த்தன ரூபகம் தென் யூ டேக் இட் as காவியலிங்க அலங்காரः as given by Appay Dikshita. Now drishtanta here does not mean alankara. Drishtanta here is udaharanam. So because of the udaharanam example of not accepting Chaturthi Chandrika, you are actually justifying the statement that the earlier statement, the first statement. So the first statement needs a justification. Here you are giving a hetu in the sense that just because it is Bhadrapada Chaturthi, you don't accept it. The same way, just because he has Vidya, you don't accept him, even though he has, because he has a bad character. So Purva Vakyarthasya vidya abahumanasya samarthana sapekshatvat, because the purva vakyam has, why don't we honor a person who is intelligent? That statement needs a justification. Samarthana sapekshatva. There is an apeksha for justification, samarthana. That apeksha is satisfied by this second line, which is nahi. You can even take it like this: manina bhushita sarpaha kim asauna bhayankaraha. Adanna vidyaya alankratopi san. இல்ல ஆமா, துர்ஜன பரிஹர்த்தவ்யோ வித்யயா அலங்கிருதோபி சன் பரிஹர்த்தவ்யः. வித்யயா அலங்கிருதோபி சன் மணினா பூஷிதः சர்ப்பः கிமசோ ந பயங்கரः.
தத்ராபி காவியலிங்கம் இதி புனः.
அது அர்த்தாந்தரநியாசமும் போட்டுக்கலாம், இல்ல காவியலிங்கம் போட்டுக்கலாம். இங்க இன்னும் clearly it is காவியலிங்கம் because of that he iti tasmat,
because the apeksha is very clear here. There's a requirement to justify. Therefore
அங்க அப்படி இல்ல,
அங்க அவ்வளோ இல்ல, just அங்க எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் வருது அவ்வளவுதான்.
ஆமா, துர்ஜனः பரிஹர்த்தவ்யயः பரிஹர்த்தவ்யः வித்யயா அலங்கிருதः சன் அப்படி அப்படின்னு.
But then the Kavilinga Alankara, that will usually come in the third pada, and Arthantaranyasa will come in, like fourth also can come like that, right? That's what I'm guessing. Because always the Kavilinga Alankara, the third pada only it comes, right?
அப்படி இல்ல அது.
The form of the form to the I don't think there's a relation.
This is more to do with the meter. You can't switch the two padas here, even though this is anushtup. You can't have chaturthi chandra chandrika nahi shuddheti grihyeta. You can't have that. There is a meter problem there. So you have to do this.
I was thinking that as a trick to tell where it is Kavilinga.
You don't have such shorthand tricks. You have to think deeply. All easier இருந்தா எப்படி?
அதெல்லாம் ஸ்டெப்ஸ் போட்டு நீங்க யோசிக்கணும். இது இட்ஸ் வெரி டஃப் டு டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பிட்வீன் காவிலிங்கம் அண்ட் அர்த்தாந்தரநியாசா. இன்னொன்னு, ஆமா, அப்பிரஸ்துத பிரசம்சால ஒரு காரியகாரண பாவம் அப்பிரஸ்துத பிரசம்சான்னு ஒண்ணு வரும். அது இன்னும் கஷ்டம். இந்த மாதிரி இட்ஸ்
கண்டினியூஸா மானிட்டர் பண்ணிட்டே தானே இருப்பா. அப்ப அவளுக்கு என்ன பைத்தியம் பிடிக்குமா என்ன? சதுர்த்தி அன்னைக்கு பார்த்தா
பைத்தியம் இல்ல, பைத்தியம் பிடிக்காது, தோஷம் வருங்கிறா.
Dosham, okay.
Dosham means what kind of dosham is, even if you don't do anything bad, that kind of dosham will be put on you.
அது எல்லாமே it depends, even then it depends on your karma. You don't know.
Only if you have karma you'll see the day Chaturthi Chandrika.
one more Modi. Chaturthi Chandra Chandrika iti Chaturthi Chandrika iti paryaptam kila kimartam Chaturthi Chandrasya Chandra nama kimartam Chandra Chandra iti vaktavyam.
Chaturthyam yaha chandraha vidyate tasya chandrika iti. It is not just the moonlight, but you also look at the moon and its moonlight. In a way, you only look at the moon, not the moonlight. Na kida pakarche the moonlight somewhere else also. The moon can be the cloud can be hiding the moon, but then you see the moonlight underneath, right?
Okay. So it's like the fellow, like the vritta vihinaha kaschit chandra iva. This is vidya chandrika iva. Vatasya yashah chandrika iva. Idanim tatra shuddhi nasti. So you need the chandrika and okay, that's why he's put both. Okay, I see.
Yes. Okay, yeah. We'll stop with this. Vande Vrindavanacharam Vallavi Janavallabham Jayanti Sambhavam Dhama Vaijayanti.